Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Yesterday saw the release, for most people, of the Rings of Power, Amazon's original take on what would have happened potentially, not at all, about 1,000 years or so prior to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It has been met with some very mixed reaction. Fiercely, Tolkien supporters have come out, they've watched it, they've made their opinion pretty vocal, and it's not good. And if you saw Friday Night Tights last night with all of us, including the wonderful Shad, Mauler, and Disbrew joined us as well for the conversation about this show, there was so much wrong. When it turned to characters, to story, to plot, to pacing, in some cases visuals, music, everything, that it was quite ironic that things like the diversity aspect, which they had been pushing and pushing and pushing, didn't even come to mind because it wasn't relevant. Because the people who wanted to watch the show were judging it based on what was being provided in the story and the script and the visuals and the etc. etc. It's only the pathetic identitarians that push this narrative. And one of the reasons why they push this narrative is because if the show does fail, if the show does get terrible reviews, if there is an uproar about how bad it is, then they fall back on it. And suddenly, diversity comes into effect, and you're a racist, and you're a racist, and you're a bigot, and etc., etc., etc. But that's stuff we've discussed before, and that's not what we're going to discuss right now. No, we're going to discuss the cowardice of Amazon. Now, it's really weird because there seems to have been some reactionary interviews with the cast, but how could they have interviewed the cast about these certain elements when it just released yesterday? Anyway, about how their characters are portrayed and etc. etc. And characters like Galadriel, oh my god, her character is garbage. In my opinion, is garbage. Absolutely terrible. Morfydd Clark cannot, in any way, shape, or form, present this character in a likable manner. And considering this is meant to be our main protagonist, it doesn't bode particularly well. Anywho, what Amazon have done is Amazon have actually placed a 72-hour embargo on anyone rating the show. So this is my Amazon account. And you see that there is a link here that says, be the first to review this show. But before I click it, I want to say something else that I noticed. Because here at the top it says top 10 number 1 in the UK. They were going to put that anyway. But there was actually a 5-star rating next to it, with all 5 stars lit. And suddenly, that vanished. Because how can you have a 5-star show when you've got a 72-hour embargo preventing people from voting? It's as if Amazon have already skewed what they want the rating to be, but somebody put it live by accident and then it got removed. Oopsie doopsies. But if we click the be the first to review this item, it goes down to the bottom here. And if I just scroll up a wee bit, 0 5 stars, 0 4 stars, 0 3 2 1 stars, because you're not allowed to place your review. Now let's jump here to Deadline. Amazon Prime put 72-hour moratorium. That sounds a bit okay. On reviews posted to its site. Amazon's new series, The Rangs of the Poor, is set 1,000 years, but whatever. So what's a 72-hour delay in reviewing the new series? That's a stance taken by Amazon Prime, which has phased in a new policy of holding off on reviews on its original content from its users until 3 days have passed. Skeptics believe that it may be a tactic to stop the bleeding on Rings of Power, since some initial reviews were, shall we say, less than kind. Which would make sense why the 5-star rating was up, because they were already ready to go with that. But take it down, take it down, take it down. Officially, Amazon have no comment on the new policy, but sources have confirmed its institution and claim it predates the new Lord of the Rings series. What a coincidence. It doesn't matter if it predates it, if it was going to be set up to protect Rings of Power anyway. And don't call it a Lord of the Rings series, because it fucking isn't. So they know when it's going to release, so they know when to put the policy in place, and then they can say, well, we put it in place for this original here. But of course, that original is acting as a shield to protect Rangs of the Poor. According to a person familiar with the updated handling of the review, the 72-hour waiting period was phased in earlier this summer in preparation for Rangs of Power. Now then, let's go to Twit. Just have a look at this. This is the Hollywood Reporter. The Rangs of Power has only a 37% audience on Rotten Tomatoes. No, 36 at the moment. After 10,747. No matter how many times they rolled back the scores, people just kept flooding through with their opinions, their reviews, and it's now dropped to a 36%. With some complaining about the show's diversity. Can you quantify some? Was it 2 people? Was it 3 people? Was it 68,000 people? Yeah, it's as if there again is another narrative being pushed. Don't like the show, you're a racist. Now then, where have we heard this before? Oh yes, on Kenobi. Remember when Kenobi came out, and if you don't like this, you're a racist? Yeah, it seems to be the new thing for major companies who can't take criticism of their dog shit that's been built on ideological grounds. Amazon halt reviews to prevent trolling. And then they've gone with, is Rings of Power getting review bombed? Well, folks, this might surprise some of you that I'm going to say this, but yeah, it is. I 100% believe that Rings of Power is getting review bombed, and I'm going to have to show the receipts because I try to be as fair as I can on this channel, even if being fair is tearing something apart. That's the fairness of it. But I have to go completely with this. I do believe it's being review bombed. Look how many 10 out of 10s it's got. 13,899. That's 33.1% of the whole vote. 1/3 of people have given it a 10 out of 10. You are absolutely correct. This is getting review bombed with 10s out of 10s. Also, there's about 25%, which is a quarter, who are giving it a 1 out of 10 as well, with a 10,675 votes currently for that. So yes, it is probably getting review bombed by the amount of praise and the amount of get out of town it is. But with that being said, people who have voted a 1 out of 10, I would personally say are more on track for exactly how good this show is. I gave my own personal review, episode 1 a 4 out of 10, and episode 2 a 3 out of 10. This is not a good show. So here we seem to have people trying to fortify the voting system on IMDb, but even with a whole third of people giving it 10 out of 10, it can still only muster a current 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. And do you want to know something else? It wasn't just Amazon which was fortifying the reviews, and it wasn't just Rotten Tomatoes that was fortifying the reviews. It was also IMDb, as they turned off the ability to review this show for a vast portion of yesterday. I don't have an IMDb account, so I can't log in and see if it's still in effect. I could have done, but I didn't. I can't be bothered, because I think all reviews are fucking useless anyway, because it's up to you how you personally feel, whether or not you choose to watch it or not. If you don't want to watch it, that's a choice that you've made based off what you have seen. And if you do watch it based off what you've seen, you can come to whatever score you see fit. You are the customer at the end of the day. You are the person who is paying for the Amazon Prime. You are the person who is, well, actually, let's just switch track. Amazon are going to track who reviews that show. They're going to be able to see which accounts have given it a 1-star, which accounts have given it a 5-star. And of course, it's linked to all of their shopping, potential credit, and other such things. Wouldn't it be odd if Amazon started to utilize that information and data at a later stage? I'm just saying. But there we go, folks. Amazon is cowardly running and preventing people from reviewing their show on their site for 72 hours. Get fucked if you think that this is a policy that they decided to push through for all their original shows. This was here to attempt to protect and fortify the ranks of power, because they knew it was going to be shit, because it's being run by two people that couldn't even get a fucking credit in a shit Star Trek movie from Bad Reboot. See you in the next video. Bye for now.